Alright, so this is the key fob for my 2013 Prius C, and it stopped working. So I changed the battery already and to a brand new battery, and that didn't help. I tried reprogramming instructions that I found. That didn't help. So obviously the physical key still works, but the unlock and lock and like the panic button doesn't do anything. I also tested the original battery, and that also still had a charge, so it's pretty old. Since I got this car brand new, it's a 2013, so yeah, it's been almost 10 years. There's just all the plastic. Pop this off. The buttons don't feel stuck or anything, they feel perfectly fine. And there's the CR 2016 3-volt battery. I cleaned the contacts, they were already pretty clean, just to check. Nothing looks messed up or anything. Yeah, I have no clue what could be going on, so let's see if I can find something, take a closer look. See if I can pop that out of there, yeah. Okay. So I see some capacitors on there. Obviously 3 buttons. I can see my car out my my window, so I can test it. I don't know if I can get this all the way out of there. Yeah. Looks like it just comes out pretty easily. I just don't want to break these plastic tabs. Alright. There's that. Alright. So I'm assuming if something's wrong, it's probably on this side. That's where everything is. I should probably start, let's see, recording with the microscope. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking at. Let's see. I can get a little closer. Oh yeah. What are these things? Two-tone. Don't know what that is. 33.6 T1 something. I think capacitors are more of these two-tone things. Maybe a resistor. Man, I wish something was just burned out and then obvious. I didn't do, nothing happened to it. I didn't, you know, get it wet or anything. Didn't get super dirty. I mean, there's not a ton going on here. There's the other side. There's the battery terminal. The negative side there, I believe, and the positive side. Maybe I could check continuity. Let's see. Okay, no continuity between positive and negative, that's good. Let's see if that little via, yep. Okay. Alright, let's see. What does it say on here? Well, let's see. Before I do that, I'm going to see if any of these capacitors are shorted. 240 ohms. 240. Everything 240. What are these things? 1 ohm. Huh. Although I don't know if that's a capacitor, resistor, or what. I'm easily scratching that. What's going on with that? Sorry, this is not level, so it's not staying perfectly in focus. Why? Are those two-tone ones just like not supposed to be that way, and they're burnt out with these perfectly uniform marks? And they're just capacitors. I am not pressing hard at all. I'm just resting it on the surface. Well, let's see. What's the resistance on this other one? Again, like 1 ohm. That looks too perfect. That has to be marked. Another 0 ohms. All the buttons feel perfectly fine. Clicky. Not stuck in or damaged. Nothing looks dirty or like it got wet. I don't see any burn marks or messed up solder joints. So I'm assuming it's this chip right here or this thing. I'm gonna have to look up what these two things do exactly. I really am at a loss of what to do next. Alright, so here's a little update. I couldn't really figure out anything about those that chip and that it's like a wireless radio or something. Anyways, so I wanted to make sure that the key fob was actually transmitting. So I got this thing, which is RTL SDR. a little radio receiver with USB for your computer or phone that can just receive and detect like all different types of signals there. So I was able to check 315 megahertz around there. That's apparently where key fobs transmit. And I saw it every time I pressed a button perfectly. I'd see a signal go out. So unlock, unlock, and panic. All buttons on a key fob. So, I'm assuming that it's working fine. So the next thing that I can think of, like I checked all the fuses, every single fuse in my car is fine. I checked the voltage on my battery, was 12.28 volts. Sounds fine to me. I'm still thinking that there could be something with the battery because it's, I got the car brand new 2013 and it's 2022 right now, and the battery in there is the original battery. So maybe something's, weird with it. I don't know. I have no other problems with the car, not a single other problem, no indication that the battery would be having trouble. So I was looking up stuff, like I don't really know anything about cars, but the keyless entry module, a little computer or circuit or something, maybe that's the thing that's not responding, not working, whatever. So I found out where it is on the car and I took it out. Here it is. This little box with one plug here. So I'm going to try to take this apart and check it out. Looks like I have a couple screws. This thing, to buy it from Toyota, is $700. I think this has specific information for my car. It's programmed for my specific key fob identification. So, I mean, I could find a used one, but then it wouldn't work with my key fob. I'd have to find the key fob that's with that, associated with that unit, probably. Or get it reprogrammed, and I don't know what that costs. Probably not cheap at the dealer. Okay. Got this off. And there's a circuit board there. Let's see. Okay, this comes out. Alright. So I can zoom in on this. I'll get the microscope on and recording. I'm just going to look at this and see if there's anything particularly obvious. See a couple big capacitors on there. Unfortunately, they're the type that you can't just see if they're bulged out. I could test if they're shorted. Get this focused. Okay. Looks like there's like a glaze over everything, like a protective sealant or something. There's another one of those like radio module dealies. Probably the part that's receiving the signal. Or maybe that one. I have no clue. Man, I'm really hoping there's something obvious on here. Really not seeing anything. Let's see, where do those capacitors go? So they're surface mount, so I'm not going to see them on the other end. I mean, there's no like fluid or whatever. No burn marks. Just this glaze on everything. Probably going to cause me trouble if I want to remove these or even test it. I probably have to puncture through that, but that's probably not an issue. There's a oscillator, I think. Yeah, I wonder also if these things did leak, if it couldn't escape really because everything's glazed over. I'm gonna start checking things with a multimeter. Mega ohms on that side and probably ground on the other side. Yeah. Okay, ground on this side. Yep. Mega ohms, okay. I don't have a diagram of this thing, so I'm not knowledgeable enough to know like exactly where I would inject voltage. Let's see if I can look closer at these pins. Like, those joints don't look amazing, but I doubt there's a problem there. I could turn my car on and check the pins on the connector that this plugs into and see if there's voltage coming out of there. That's one thing. I'm pretty much at a loss. There's those weird two-tone components that I've seen before. Now, I mean, the ones in the key fob are not green, but it's whatever. That's just something I just haven't encountered before. I don't know what that is supposed to indicate. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. I guess I'm gonna get my multimeter and check, start my car and check if there's some voltage getting to the connector at least. If there's no voltage getting there, that might mean that this thing is fine. But then even after that, I'm not sure where to go. Okay, I'll move on to that. Alright, so the latest news is I brought the multimeter out to the car and there is no 12 volts or any voltage getting to the connector for the door receiver. I think that's a problem. I think it should be getting power even when the door or when the car's off, because you can always use your lock and unlock. So This is the next thing I could think of. I took all of the relays out of the car, and I'm going to check these. So these are all 12-volt relays. Not exactly sure which terminals I need to apply power to, but I think it's these ones, and then these are supposed to have a connection after you do that. Also, you're supposed to hear a click. So I have this little power supply here that's giving out 12 volts. Let's see if I blow myself up. I hear a click. That doesn't mean that it's good, but I'm just going to check all these for make sure they click. Yeah. Okay. That one is really quiet, but it's probably just because it's small. Yeah. I feel like none of these are going to be bad. Nope, of course not. Okay, now I have to test them properly, so I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this without 4 hands. Okay, so right now these copper ones are showing nothing. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Let's see. Okay, that one works. Whoa, I'm probably not on it. Of course. It's fine. Got excited for a second. More difficult. Okay, that's fine. And the last one is fine. Okay. Now I have to figure out whatever the next thing is, which I have no clue. Alright, so I feel pretty stupid, but the problem's fixed. So, it's just the battery. The way that I made sure that it couldn't be a battery problem was using my bench power supply to provide 3 volts, 3.1 volts to the key fob directly. And it worked. So I knew that the battery I had was just not capable of pushing enough amps. or dying. I don't know. Maybe fake. I don't know. I got it from Amazon, but yeah. So kind of lame. Went through a lot more work than I needed to, but it's a good thing I never thought of for small things like that, applying direct voltage to it from something plugged into the wall, which will obviously have enough power or be able to push enough amps probably, then a little battery. So yeah, I just got a brand new battery from a store that stocks them fresh, and it works perfectly fine. So unfortunately, that's the solution.